What I come here for you today, at least right now, is to rant about the new mastery system in League of Legends. I'm gonna show it to you real quick. Give me like 1 moment. Because I have a lot to talk about, and I have a lot that was on my mind ever since the patch dropped. So here. Starting from patch 14.10, with the new split season, League of Legends have rolled out a new mastery system. And while the new icon and the image is, to the very least, say, questionable, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about the visuals. This is a different topic for debate for a different time. What I want to talk about right now is the system behind it that has changed drastically and brought a lot of new stuff. So, I think I want to start with something that's a bit less significant, is the actual grind of the mastery. As most of you probably know, old mastery was capped at a level 7, so you could reach level 7 by grinding mastery tokens, getting S grades from your games on the champion. And past level 7, the only thing you could do, aside from like getting Eternals and getting those little like pointy things on your mastery, is to pretty much just grind points. Just grind points and show off like, hey, I have 1,000,000 points on Yasuo. I've spent a shit ton of time playing him. So now, to be like more transparent about this, they have upgraded mastery to be uncapped. It goes up to level 10 to this little like red crest. You can probably see the different levels. Like here's level 9, here's level 8, and so forth. It goes up to level 10, and up from level 10, you can grind it even further to increase this little number here. And again, to show you off that you have spent a bunch of time on this champion. And they've changed the system of how you acquire those particular levels. First thing they did is upgrading mastery no longer requires a champion shard or blue essence. Which means that whatever horde of shards I had is gone. And you have now more blue essence to hoard basically for like the entire split until you get a blue essence emporium, and you can shill all on that on Chromas or whatever is in the shop. I think this is a good thing because the old like system, it was one of the ways to funnel your shards and your blue essence, but I think it wasn't strictly necessary, so I'd say that's an upgrade. But other than that, to upgrade mastery levels, you don't have to farm tokens as you did before. You don't have to farm S grades to get rank 6 tokens, rank 7 tokens. Now, leveling up mastery goes from those marks of mastery that you acquire by completing milestones. I believe you need 1 mark to get a level from 5 to 9, and to get a level 10 and further, you need 2 marks per level. And you get those marks by completing milestones. Here are the milestones. They give you marks of mastery, and they give you all sorts of rewards. Here's the weird thing about the leveling system. As you can see, the requirements change drastically. First milestone, and those reset every split. Every split, those 4 initial milestones, they reset. So for the first milestone, you need to play 5 games on the champion, get 4 games with a grade C- or higher, and get a grade of B- or higher. And you get 1 mark of mastery and 1 mastery chest. Those requirements lower drastically compared to the previous ones. Because before, if you needed to actually try to grind for several S ranks, and especially for chests, but I'll be talking about the chests later. You needed to grind actual S marks. Now, the requirement for a first few milestones, which are like mostly a level 1 and level 2 milestone, is to basically play the game and not int. It is very easy to get a grade C-. In fact, I had games when I lose lane completely, when I go 0-3, when I get carried by my team and the game ends before I can even like try to hop back into the game, and I still get a minimal C- to get at least 1 grade for the milestone. So for the most part, you only need to play 5 games and not int. Same goes for level 2. 5 games, not int. It's quite easy to shared among 5 games to get at least a single A grade. And you get those 2, you get 2 marks of mastery, and you can level up 1 level. Or 2 if you are below 10. The milestone 3 is a bit closer to what we had before. This one actually requires an S grades S- or higher, which is pretty much a mastery 6 token, what it was before. So you need to, like, to get level 3, you need to grind 15 games, and in the last 5 games you need to get at least 1 mastery 6 token, as it was before. And as grade S- or higher. This is a bit of a higher requirement than before, but it's not as difficult. If you remember grinding rank 7 before this patch, you had to actually like get several S grades, you had to actually like grind up. Now it only requires 1, and the same goes for Mastery 4. Only 1 S- grade. So basically what it means is you need 2 rank 6 tokens as of old system to complete your entire milestone for this split. You need 20 games and you need 2 Mastery 6 tokens. And the weird thing comes after that is the fact that when you finish those 4 milestones, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 marks of mastery. 6 marks of mastery past level 10 give you 3 levels of mastery. If you're below, it gives more. But if we're talking about the actual grind comes after level 10. Getting level 9 and level 10 is quite easy, similar to how it was before to grind level 6 mastery in the previous system. So you get, if you're past level 10, on a split, you get 6 marks of mastery that allow you to level up 3 levels per split. And once you complete those 4, you get another milestone, which is repeated, and you can like do it over and over and keep grinding. And this one is wild. This one is wild because after you've passed the initial 4, this one requires you to get 7 grade S or higher, which means it's like 7 mastery 6 token to get a single mark of masteries, and you need 2 per level. So you need to grind 14 rank 6 mastery tokens from before. This is a lot. This is a lot. This is to get a single level. And I wouldn't say it's a big issue because like the entire point of mastery level above level 10 is to pretty much grind. It's grind for the sake of grind. It's something to show off, to tell that, look, I've played a bunch of hours on this champion. I know like ins, outs, everything. Like I have a lot of time on this champion. So this is pretty much grind. And I'd say it would make sense. It would make sense. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to grind for, but That's just grind for the sake of grind. It doesn't really affect gameplay that much. It doesn't really affect anything, and you still get mastery score as you did before, even when you don't have the required marks of mastery to complete the level. You still get the mastery points. The one thing is you cannot exactly see mastery points. For example, if I go to my friend's profile, you cannot see their mastery points before. You can only see their mastery level. So, like, my friend had, what was it, like 500,000 points of Mastery E before? Now I cannot see those 500,000 points. I can only see the Mastery rank. The only way to see Mastery points is if you use third-party applications, such as Mastery, what was it? Mastery Chart website that shows you your actual mastery points, and you can see them yourself. Like if I go to Caitlyn, I can see my mastery points myself, but the mastery points are not the main showcase of the mastery on your champion. Now it's mastery rank. And this mastery rank is quite grindy, so you need a lot of hours and you need a lot of games to grind past level 10. The weirdest part about this is first four milestones and the difference between those two. Because as I've shown you before, you complete those 4 milestones, which are quite easy. It's 20 games minimum. 20 games minimum, and you get 2 S grades and you get 6 tokens. So if you're already level 10, you get 3 levels. You get 3 levels in 20 games. And this resets every split. So pretty much every split, you get for free, almost for free, 3 level boost to your mastery point on your main champions. If you play them, that is, during that split. They have also told that they wanted to implement a system that shows off your achievements better. So like, for example, I could, I don't know, I could grind Lillian Mastery, for example, when she was completely busted, like last season, like season 14. Split 1, when she was completely busted, but she had a lot of good items, she had a lot of good synergies, and it was very easy to climb ladder with her. So I could pretty much grind my mastery in the previous system. I could pretty much grind my mastery when the champion is busted, when the champion is meta, and then show it off to you. And then be like, oh, look at this, I have a level 7 mastery on this champion. But it doesn't mean like I've played this. You can't tell if I have grinded this when the champion was in meta or when it was like just released and was dog shit and nobody played. The devs said that they wanted to implement a system that would differentiate that. That would tell you that you played in Enchanter in a tank support meta and stuff like that. But it doesn't seem to be the case right now. Somewhat, like, you get this little cute title. Let me show it to you. You get this cute little title. Like, I have the Sheriff of Piltover, which is a title of the champion. Here you see, the Sheriff of Piltover. You can get pretty much every champion's title. If you go, for example, like Set the Boss. If you want a title, The Boss, on your profile, you have to just get level 10 mastery on Set, and you get this title. I'm not sure if it resets every split. I don't exactly know yet, but it might be. It might be. And also, a little thing is when you complete a 4th milestone, you get this little crest highlighting. And I can't exactly show you right now unless I go into the game, but see how this is like the default crest? It's just the PNG outline, and that's it. If I go to the one when I have completed, it has a little blue light behind it. Just has a little subtle blue light behind it. It doesn't mean shit. I'll tell you this much. It doesn't mean shit. Most of the people won't barely notice it. So if this little glow resets every split, and if I assume the title would also reset every split, but it might not, I'm not sure, then it would only give you, it would only show you that you have grinded this champion this split specifically. Not in a particular meta, not in a particular time. You cannot like have some kind of trophy to show off like, yeah, look, this is like Season 7 mastery on Nami. I have played Nami in Season 7 and I have grinded a lot and I'm a good boy. So this is something they wanted to implement, but I'm not sure if they did a good job on it. But again, it's not something that really matters, and it's not exactly something that matters the mastery at all. But the gist of it, yeah, is that mastery level past the 4 initial milestones is a huge grind. A huge grind. 14 marks S- on or higher to get a single level. But you get every split, you get pretty much 3 levels for free, because the requirements are way lower. Way lower. Two tokens of rank S or higher to get 3 levels as compared to 14 to get 1. See the difference? So it's very easy to grind mastery on a new split than to keep going it after you have completed that initial milestones. But like, all of this is not exactly an issue. This is just like an external, some kind of show-off thingy, just to like grind for the sake of grind. It doesn't exactly have a lot of implications on the game itself. What I want to move on to is a system that actually changed and actually has a lot of impact on players of all levels. It doesn't matter if you want to grind one champion, if you're one trick, if you want to just like play everybody else. This affects pretty much everyone. So, remember how you used to grind chests before? You had a certain amount of chests that gets added every week, and you can obtain those chests by getting S grades while playing a certain champion. You could pick a champion, you could go in a game, a normal game, get an S grade, or actually have somebody in your party get an S grade, and then you get a chest out of that. And the amount of chests was limited, and it was refilled 1 chest every week. So, assuming that you've hit the cap, you can pretty much get, what was it, like 54 chests a year for free. 54 chests for free per year for you to open. This system is entirely gone now. If I go into my profile, you can see that there is... Oh, you actually cannot see because my camera closes it. But here, there is no chest count anymore. It doesn't exist. It is not here anymore. The old system is gone. Instead, we have a new system that interacts with the new milestones mastery to get you chests. And it's very weird. Let's get into that. First of all, one thing that the devs said is that they aim at increasing the amount of chests one can get per split. If, like I said before, you could get 54 chests per year, and it doesn't exactly reset per split. It keeps accumulating every week. It doesn't exactly reset. It doesn't give you more chests at the end of a split. The only thing it does reset is the champions you have obtained those chests on. So if you had, like, for example, a Twisted Fate, and you have already gotten a chest on Twisted Fate, you cannot get 2 chests on 2 different weeks on a single champion on Twisted Fate, unless the split has reset. I'm pretty sure you're all familiar with that system. The new system ditches all of that. You still have to grind specific champions to get chests, but it's very different. First of all, it is not as transparent as the old system was. The old system specifically told you, this is how much chests you have right now. Those are the champions you can use to get those chests off of. And like, you pretty much combine 2 and 2 together and be like, oh, okay, like Ashe is a champion that I have not unlocked the chest yet. I have 1 chest this week. I can go play Ashe, try to get an S grade, earn a chest. That's it. What it does now instead is that gives you chests for completing milestones on mastery. You see it right here. It does say that once you complete first milestone, you get a chest alongside a Mark of Mastery. So you not only get mastery to show off your grind on the champion, you also get chests. And this is for every single champion. Every single champion has those. Every single champion can be used to obtain those chests. Similar to the old system, you can use the champion, get a chest off of them, and then the split resets, and you can use the champion again to grind chests off of them. And it does seem that, like, there's no limit. It does seem, at least in-game, that there's no limit per week how many chests you can get. You can pretty much, like, grind champions and keep going. However, that's not the case. This system is not entirely transparent. It does keep showing you that, yeah, you can get a chest for a first milestone, you can get a chest for the third milestone, and this is true for every champion in your roster. Even the ones you have never played, you can still pick up and go earn chests on. It doesn't matter. It resets every split. What it doesn't say is how many chests you are allowed to grind. It doesn't say it anywhere. The only way you can know that, and I've actually met people who didn't know that and who were deceived by the new system, is if you go into dev notes, is if you go into dev blogs, and you actually read about the new system, which was like when they first, before they rolled out and after they rolled out. They used those blog posts to explain further how the new system works. So I'll explain it to you here. The way the new system works is that you have chests for a first milestone. Those chests are very easy to get. You pretty much play 5 games, as I said before, 5 games on a single champion, not int, get grades C or B minus, which are very easy to get. You pretty much have to not int the game, not run it down mid, and you are gonna get it in 5 games. If you get a couple of bad games, you can just get a couple more. So like 5 games minimum, and a couple more if you are unlucky. It's very easy to get. You don't have to grind an S grade as you did before. You don't have to call your friends and be like, hey, I need you to carry the game. I need you to get an S grade so I can get a chest off of Ornn or something. However, those first chests for the first milestone are limited, and they're very limited. You can get as much as 6 chests per split. 6 chests for the first milestone. And it doesn't say it anywhere, but I'll show it to you. I'll go for Seasonal Mastery, and I'll show it to you that I have completed the first milestone on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6 champions. And this is the limit. This is the most you'll get out of first milestone, the easy one, the one that gives you only 5 games to go for. And if I go further, and if I say like, oh, I am 1 game away of getting a milestone 1 on Lilia, I can go play 1 more game and get 1 more chest. It says so right here. It says so. You get a chest out of it. This is a lie. This is the complete lie. You do not get chests for first milestone after you have completed the first 6. You do not get any further. If you want to get more chests, you have to complete a milestone 3. A milestone 3 assumes that you have to complete a milestone 1 first, then a milestone 2, and then go on to milestone 3. And milestone 3 has this same requirement of getting a grade S minus or higher. Pretty much similar how they did before. A requirement to get a chest. The only difference, the main difference, is that you cannot get this token from your teammates, from your premates. You have to get this S grade yourself. If you want a chest of a champion, you have to get this S grade yourself. You cannot ask your friends to help you with that, unless you give them your account, but I'm not sure if that's allowed. So, if you want to get more chests, you have to get milestone 3, and milestone 3 is much harder. Much harder for the one specific reason that you have to play at minimum 15 games. 15 games on a champion to get a milestone 3, at minimum. And if you're not lucky enough to get an S grade, you have to play more and more and more until you get that S grade, until you complete that requirement, and until you get that milestone. And milestone 3 chests are also limited. They are limited to 25 chests per split. 25 chests. And the devs said that their goal was to increase the amount of chests you get for free per split. And this is true, this is very much true. If you combine 25 chests for milestone 3 with 5 chests for milestone 1, you get... Oh, 6 chests, sorry. You get a whooping 31 chests per split. And you have to remember that, this is something that I've forgotten myself, is that the split system is new. The split system is not 2 splits per season as it was before. It is 3 splits per season. For example, currently it is season 14, split 2, and it ends in 100 days, which would be somewhere in September. So it doesn't end by the end of the year, it doesn't end by the end of the season. There will be a 3rd split that will last through autumn and winter, until the New Year's, until the new season. So currently there are 3 splits per season, which means if the system stays as it is, unchanged, you will get 93 chests per season for free. 93 compared to 54 as it was before, which is 39 chests more than you got before. It is a lot. It is a lot. It is almost double. It is a lot of free chests. However, not all as simple in this new system. You get a lot more chests, that's true, but the amount of time you have to spend in game to get those chests is abysmal. It is laughably bad. Let me get into it. So, if you were to grind chests in the old system, this is something I have done many times, this is something my friends have done many times, and something probably you have done many times. This is just, you log in, maybe once a week, maybe a bit often, you check your profile, you see, I have 1 chest this week unobtained. I can go in, pick a new champion that I haven't gotten a chest yet, maybe call in some buddies to help me with that, and we can go play together. One of us gets an S, we all get a chest. Yoo-hoo! You get several tries, you try for like several games. It usually didn't take much long, especially with the fact that you can get an S grade off of your pre-made. It didn't take much time to get a chest on a new week. You pretty much like a couple games, maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5 if you're lucky, maybe more. So like, it doesn't take that much games to get a chest every week. However, in this new system, instead of getting like a few games every week to get this chest and then log off, you have to keep playing a single champion for 15 games, and then you have to actually get an S grade on them to get that chest. And let me remind you of something. Remember how in old system, when you have upgraded mastery, let's say you were grinding a new champion up to mastery rank 7, you need S grades. You need a rank S- or higher to get a Mastery 6 token to upgrade to Mastery 6. However, if you are not Mastery 5, those S grades do not count. If you have been Mastery 3, Mastery 4, you have gotten a lot of S grades, those do not count, thus do not give you the tokens, and thus do not help you progress your Mastery level. You only count the games that have been after you have hit Mastery 5. And this system is very similar. While you play games completing Mastery Milestone 1, Milestone 2, those grades you get do not count towards a Milestone 3. You need to play 10 games first, then you need to actually get to the Milestone 3, and after you have done that, and you have completed the last 5 games for Milestone 3, only then does it count the grades that you get. And only then do you have to also get a grade S- or higher to get this milestone. Oh. Anyway, so what this means is that the old cap that limited the amount of chests you gain per week is gone. We have a new cap that is a hard cap on a whole split of the amount of chests you can get the whole split, and it doesn't matter when you get them. However, the requirements to get a chest are much higher. The first 6 chests are very easy to get. You're gonna get them very fast. The 25 chests after that are a grind, are an actual grind, and it's not even funny. You need to get S crates as before. There are more difficult to get because they don't count for your premates, so you cannot get help from your premates to get that S crate. And you have to play 15 games a champion minimum to get a chest. So let's do some calculations. I have done those calculations before, but I will show you right now. Let me show you this. All right. So, you have 31 chests per split. You get 6 chests for the first milestone, and those same milestones count towards completing the next milestones. So let's say you pick 25 champions that you choose to get chests out of this split. First things first, 25 champions is a lot. It is a lot for a game that is very, very keen on mastering a single mechanic, a single specific champion. Like, you get way more mileage out of one trick in a single champion than out of expanding your roster to like 10 or 20 or 25. Sorry, my throat. Oh, my throat. So, in this game, it is very much counterproductive to keep playing different champions, to try to pick up new champions. You get way more mileage out of playing a single champion, or maybe like a small roster of champions. You get way more mileage out of that. And despite all that, you need to pick 25 champions per split that you choose to grind this on. And you need to grind 25 champions, and you need to be good enough on them to get at least 1 S crate on each. This might be a tall order, but it's not that difficult to get this first initial S crate, but it might be tricky. Especially because the games from your friends don't count. So this is difficult. But let's say you have picked your 25 champions to play this split to get the maximum amount of chests. You pick 25 champions, and then you have to play 15 games on each of them at minimum. Let's say you're a prodigy. Let's say you get that S grade within 5 games instantly, and you don't have to play more than 15 games on every champion, and you are a faker and you have godlike... I'm exaggerating, but you get the point. Let's say you complete the requirements first try, and you get 15 games minimum. If we multiply 25 by 15, we get 375 games per split you need to play to get the maximum amount of chests. 375 games per split. And let me remind you, we now have 3 splits a season. 3 splits. So if the system stays the way it is, it doesn't change for the next season, for the season 15, we are going to have to play times 3, 1,125 games per year on 25 different champions to get all those chests. And you get sizable amount. You get, I forgot how much I said. 93 chests, I believe. 93 chests. So you play 1,000, more than 1,000 games to get 93 chests per year. And I remind you, before you got 54 chests per year max. Maybe 55, maybe like it fluctuates a little bit depending on your current account status, amount of weeks per year, all of stuff like that, yada yada. But overall gist is like 54 chests per year, and those chests were much easier to get. And let's say you need like 5 games. Let's pick 5 games. You pick a champion, you play 5 games on them, some of them on your pre-mates, try to get an S grade, try to get your mates to get an S grade to get a chest. If you play 5 games, a champion, to get 54 chests, and you don't have to, like, you can divide it by 2, so you can pick, not 54, but 27, the same amount of champions as before. So you get 54, and you play 5 games each to get an S grade, to get a chest. You have to play 270 games per year to get all those chests. Now you have to play the same amount of games, even more than that, per split to get chests. And let's say you don't want more chests. Maybe you don't have enough keys. Maybe you don't care about that much. Maybe you just don't want to play the game as much. You don't have as much time to sink into it, like some of us do. Let's say you want to acquire the same amount of chests as you did before. 54. We can divide it by 3. We can go like 55 maybe, divided by 3, get 18, something like that. Let's say you get... what 18 times 3? 54, yes. Let's say you get 18 chests per split. You need to play 18 times 15, the same amount of games per split, or 3 splits to get the same amount of chests per year. The amount of games you have to sink in to get the same reward has tripled. It has tripled. The new system is very grindy. It is very grindy. You have to play a lot. And if we compare, let's say, what was it? 31. I forgot already. Oh wait, 25 times 3. Sorry. 25 times 3, which is 75 milestones per year, which is 1,125 games. And let's say that each game takes you like 20 to 25 minutes. Let's say 20 minutes each game. We divide that by 60, and we amount to almost 400 hours per year. 400 hours. And here's a few takes to get off of that right away. 400 hours a year for a game that, like League of Legends, that requires you to sink in a lot of time, to get a lot of practice, and to learn a lot of things, is not that much. 400 hours a year is not that much for the game. But you have to remember that this is 400 hours a year dedicated specifically to grinding milestone chests, to grinding 25 champions to get those chests. You cannot just like pick your OTP, go climb ranked, spend like 400, 500, 700 hours per year, and then still get those chests. If you want those rewards, if you want those chests, you have to sink in about 400 hours per year specifically to grind those chests. You cannot play any champion you want. You cannot play anything. You have to, well, you can actually. You can pick a roster of 25 champions, and this is like quite a sizable roster, so you have a good choice. So you can play the champions you want, but once you get that third milestone, you can cross out that champion and you have to pick somebody else if you want to get more chests. So those are 400 hours per year, not just playing the game, not just like picking whatever, doing whenever, just like picking, I don't know, picking Singed for the first time just to try him out, play for a couple games, decide he's not for you, ditch him and try somebody else. This is specifically to grind the chess. This is specifically to grind the champions, to play 15 games minimum each. And this is a lot. I could not stress this enough. This is a lot. This is a lot of grind. This is a lot to go through. For a game where you want to just like play but at your own pace, the way like old system worked, which was quite like decent, is the fact that you can pretty much play at your own pace and you don't have to commit as much to grinding chests. Because, like I said, the way we did before, you pretty much, I don't know, you climb ladder, you go play Saluk, you maybe like just like go mess around with friends, pick whatever, just do whatever, and then once a week you're like, oh, by the way, I have a chest, let's commit to doing that. You play several games trying to get that chest, and then you are free. You are free to do whatever you want. You can close the game and not touch it for a week until you get one more chest, and you have to grind for that. You can go back to playing solo queue. You can go back to playing flex. You can go back to playing normals with your friends. You can do whatever you want. This was a very low commitment milestone to get through. Compared to now, it is very high commitment, extremely high commitment to go and pick 25 champions and play 15 games on each of them, trying to specifically grind chests. You have to do a lot. And I think this is weird. I think this is very weird. I think this is very weird. One thing I like though, I'll say now, one thing I like about this system is that if players actually like commits to it and players actually try to grind those chests, it forces them to not only expand their roster, aside from like a couple champions they play usually, they have to play more champions. And compared to the old system where you could just like play a random champion, get a couple games, try to get an unlucky S-grade, or maybe like get your mate to get an S-grade on their main, and just go off of that and then forget about the champion and move on. Now you actually have to commit to the champion and play a lot of it to figure out how it works. And what it does is it pretty much expands a playable roster of champions for every player. They have to play more champions, they have to play more games on each champion, and they have more time to figure out each champion and each role they play on. So it expands the roster, it widens the horizons, it allows for more stuff. This is cute, this is cool, this is decent. This is forcing variety in gameplay. This is not a bad thing. But the amount of grind you have to get is terrible. It is terrible. Oh, and also I didn't talk about this, but this is milestones for specific champions. The way it works is this thing picks out 10 champions that the game thinks you would want to play. It picks champions you main often, it then picks champions from the role you main often, and then it picks a few champions that it thinks you'd like. And it bundles them in together, and you have to play like any of those champions and complete any milestones on any champions, and you get rewards for that. You complete 12 milestones across all the champions, doesn't matter in which order and capacity. Like I've shown, like I have 5 milestones on Caitlyn, so I have like 5 here and 1 on each other. So like I have 8 in total. You can pretty much keep playing one champion or play a bit of that, and you get a chest. This is what they called specific mastery chest, which is pretty much the same as a normal master work chest. And it's the same chest, it gets the same rewards. The only thing that's different is that it doesn't count to this repeating cycle. It doesn't give you more rewards the more you open them. It doesn't count towards that. Aside from that, it's pretty much the same chest. So yeah, you get one chest for free, pretty much. Well, it's quite easy to get this one. This one you get. It's a cute addition. I like that. I like that. But as I said before, the new chest grind system is terrible. It is. Oh, it's bad. So, what I hope they change about that, and I'm pretty certain they might change something about that because they have told about this before. They pretty much rolling this out to test the waters, to see how it's gonna work, to see how it's gonna affect the players, and see what's gonna happen about that. So, I'm hoping they would change something, and like I'm fairly certain they might actually change some systems. So, what I would like to see of this system is, first of all, transparency. Make clear messages in game that tells you the amount of chests you can get. Right now, there would be a lot of new players that come to a new system that haven't read the patch note, that haven't read the dev vlogs, that don't know anything. They go on and see, oh, you get chests by playing 5 games. I'm gonna play each champion 5 games each, and I'm gonna get like what, 150 chests, and I'm gonna swim. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Ugh. Too much yelling. So yeah, the new players will see this and will think, oh, I can get a lot of loot. I can get a huge amount of loot. This is not true. They do not know about this. They do not know about this. There needs to be some kind of system that shows you that you cannot get this chest. You cannot. There needs to be something that tells you, this is the amount of chests you have available per split. This is the amount of chests you have already gotten. This is how many more you can get. There needs to be more transparency about this. Right now, it is not transparent at all, and you have to actually go out of your way and try to Google and try to go into devs, go into dev notes, go to dev blogs, and read up on this. Second of all, I want less grind. I want much less grind. The first milestone is not bad. In fact, it's actually quite cute. The first milestone is easy to get, and it's quite rewarding to pick up new champion, get a few games on them, and get a reward from that. So what I would like to see is the shift in chest limit per milestone. Instead of getting 6 chests for first milestone and 25 chests for third milestone, I'd like to see more chest rewards for the first milestone. You can split them evenly, like let's say 15 chests for a first milestone, 16 chests for a third milestone. This is gonna, if you times 3, it's gonna still amount to 45 chests per year just for the first milestone. Lower than it was before, but much easier to get, which is much cuter. And the values can change, but I'm pretty much looking forward to them changing it up to getting more chests for the first milestone compared to the third milestone, because the third milestone is a grind. And it's not bad in and of itself that you have to like grind third milestone and you have to grind 15 games on each champion to get more rewards, but the amount of rewards you get and the amount of grind you have to commit to is abysmal. If we shift those numbers, if we play it, toss and turn them, then it's gonna turn out that you have to play way less. And it's not gonna be as much of a grind. You don't have to play 400 hours a year specifically to grind chests if you want to just like get some free loot. I think that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to cover about the milestone system. And oh god, it's terrible. It's terrible. But it has room for improvement, and I hope it will improve, and I hope it will get better and more engaging for the players. And maybe, I wonder if they will change the icon. I wonder if they will change the icon, because a lot of people don't like the new icon. I'm pretty much neutral about this, like I don't care as much. It doesn't look terrible. It doesn't look amazing. It's whatever. It's just whatever. But yeah, I'm hoping the dev team listens to feedback, changes stuff, doesn't require as much grind to get the same amount of chests, and then we'll all be happy. As it is right now, it is a huge grind to get new chests, and my goodness. Also, the one thing to worry about is the amount of keys you get, because I'm not sure if you can even get enough keys to pay for 90 chests per year. You can get them for honor levels, you can get them for battle pass, for free battle pass levels, but this is like specific to me because I don't buy battle passes. Maybe somebody who does buy does not want to spend battle pass tokens on keys and wants instead to go for loot. And yes, something that is also to worry about is the amount of keys. Oh my god. I need to chill. The amount of keys one gets. So yeah, that's the end of my rant. I hope I didn't peak my mic too much. I hope my limiter doesn't muffle the entire fucking conversation that I've had. But this is all I wanted to say.